What you know about rolling down in the deep when you remember all ever since I can remember I've been working these holes together with my boy.
Before I crash, I just wanted to say I love the way that she dried, and that iridescent resin that I had come in. I forgot what it's called. I love the way that looks. It's like green, but in certain light it's red and certain light it's green. Anyway, long story short, dried beautifully. I mean, like bling bling blow. So what I'm gonna do is, once I wake up, gonna come back and add the second layer of resin on this one, and once she dries she'll be done. So no imperfections in this one at all, except for where I see a problem coming in is when I remove the tape, because this painter's tape ain't what they be talking about. Like, it literally be sticking to shit. So, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, so this is one of the four in the one that I used in this particular piece. I also used one of the blues too, but the blue pearl that I used was already iridescent kinda. This one, well, I won't say iridescent. It had a form of glitter pigment in it. This one is actually iridescent. As I move it, you can see, like, it's green, red, pink, whatever. And it's called chameleon powder. Got it off Amazon. I thought they cheated me at first because it's only 5 grams, but a little goes a long way. It's all over the top. It was all over my clothes. That's how much. It's really fine powder. So I like it. Okay, guys, I'm in a bit of a rush, but as promised, I'm coming back with the flood pour. This is the second layer of the Resin Art. I didn't videotape this particular piece because, listen to me, old lady, videotape. I didn't record this particular piece because I wanted it to come out as perfect as possible. Whenever I have to keep stopping and checking on the camera to see if something's coming out the way I want it, then the whole process just takes longer. But again, this is the second resin piece that I've ever done. I've used resin, of course, before, but I usually use it to glue down my crushed glass and my mixed media pieces. So now this is pretty much everything combined except for the fluid art. Well, except for the acrylic fluid art. I did that in the first piece. So right now this is just a flood coat. I have a bit of dragonfly medium mixed in there. Other than that, the epoxy is just clear. So we're gonna go in. I'm in a rush, but we're still gonna try to do this neatly. So this just seals and solidify the crushed glass that's already on here, and it adds an additional level. And I'm gonna go in with the heat gun and see if I can smooth this out. I only went with the cup. I think the actual measurement for this 20 by 20 is about 2 cups, a little over 2 cups, really. What do you call it? For the 20 by 20, I want to say it was 16 ounces, 1-to-1 ratio epoxy. But I did 18 the first time. I think for the actual fluid pour, I did a little bit over 2 cups or something like that. I can't remember. I'm not good with the math, you know. I just do art. So, but yeah, I just wanted you guys to see the process of the flood coat. Now, what I do, which I hate because it sometimes comes through these gloves, I get in there by hand and spread this around, and then I come back with the heat gun. So I try to get it as evenly coated as I can prior to using the heat gun, because sometimes the heat gun blows it every direction but the direction you want it to go in. So this helps me flatten it out, and then hopefully on its own it spreads out evenly. I probably could have put a little bit less on this side, so I'll just bring that over the crushed glass. So I have it taped around the edges because I love when it actually drips over the canvas, but you know, epoxy hardens. If you don't have the back of the canvas taped, then when you get ready to put it on the wall or wherever you're going to hang it, it sticks out a bit from the actual epoxy that has formed the actual droplet on the back of the canvas. So that's why it's good to just go ahead and tape it off so you don't have that problem. But I also wanted it to give that raised look from the canvas, which is why I went ahead and taped around the edges as well. So, but the first piece that I did, it actually did everything I wanted to do, but I was missing that raised effect, and then I remembered the reason why I was missing that raised effect was because I didn't actually tape around the edges of the actual canvas. So right now I'm just trying to spread this as evenly as I can before I apply the heat gun to pop any leftover bubbles. So basically it went on clear. The Dragonfly medium is just going to add more of that iridescent feel without me having to add glitter to it. I didn't want to put glitter on this piece because I used the chameleon powder resin, and that actually gave it, like I said, these gloves ain't crap. The epoxy, I don't know if it melts through the gloves or if it just goes through the gloves. Let me take these off, because I definitely still got epoxy on my fingers, so these gloves are actually useless. But they send them to you when you buy the resin. So I have my tarp over here, so I'm just going to take, I might leave the stick in there because sometimes the stick helped me pull out the leftover epoxy. We'll see how that does, because the last time I actually had to use my paint scraper to scrape that out. So I'm going to let this sit for a second while I go wash my hands to get this epoxy off. But since I already have epoxy, I'm just going to spread this area out that I see that the epoxy didn't touch. And this is my last layer. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'm about to take me a birthday trip. I should actually already be on the road because I have a couple of errands to run, but I get that when I get there. Okay? So yeah, that's just it. I'm gonna go over with the heat gun. I'll come back and show you guys that. Maybe not. I don't know. The heat gun's been burning through my tarp, my bags, everything. So it's been getting too hot. So y'all give me a second. Somebody leave in the comments to tell me how y'all get the epoxy off y'all's hands, because I wash mine with 2 different types of soap. The pink soap that I clean my brushes with, and then again with regular soap. And then I come back later and use alcohol and water to try to get the stickiness off of my hands. So we're gonna go in with the heat gun on the lowest setting, because I've been using it on like the mid setting and it's been scorching the epoxy a little, and we don't want that. So this piece of crushed glass, I thought it was already stuck to the canvas. So right now it's on a 1. This particular heat gun has 3 settings. It has 1, 2, and 3. So for the sake of just popping the air bubbles, I'm using it on the 1. To move it around, I put it on 2. But when you put it on 2, you have to be quick. Okay, guys, second layer done. Now I can get dressed and go about my business. This has 3 to 4 days to dry, so, because I ain't gonna be here to mess with it. And yeah, that's it. I'm sure it'll be dry in like 8 hours or something, but I usually give it 24 hours just in case it don't harden up tonight. But anyway, that's it. That's all. I got shit to do. Bye.